as empaths, we often experience a lot of ups and downs and challenges, which can make being an empath and living life as an empath can make it very challenging and overwhelming at times. And in this video, I want to share with you 3 major challenges and struggles that empaths face, and also what you can do about it so it doesn't get so overwhelming and challenging. The very first one is emotional burnout. Us empaths, we feel so much. We're such empathic souls, such loving and big-hearted souls. We just want to help so many people. The problem with that is when we are so open and we're so empathic, we're picking up on all these emotions from the people around us. Especially when you're around people that usually are very negative, we often pick up that too. If they're going through a hard time, we're picking up that too. On a collective level, if there's a lot of turmoil going on, and well, just look around, there's a lot going on. We pick up that as well. So we're feeling other people's emotion, and not just with the people right next to us, but also collectively, we often feel that too. And then also when you're going through your own period of the darkening of the soul or just challenges in your life or whatnot, that also can be emotionally very overwhelming because you're dealing with so much. You're dealing with your own feelings. You're dealing with the feelings of other people and everything around you. So the emotional burnout can be very overwhelming. And here the problem is, if it is unchecked, if you're not doing something about it, and like I said, I'm going to share with you what you can do about to really help you throughout your life. But if you're not doing anything about it, if this whole emotional burnout is unchecked, if you're not really doing anything to really take care of yourself, it can cause actual burnout where you're absolutely burned out. You feel like you're crashing. It can cause a lot of problems. It can also cause health problems and emotional problems as well. And of course, problems within your relationships as well. So emotional burnout is often one of the things that is most challenging for empaths because, like I said, we feel so much. Which brings me into the second major challenge is that we are sponges to all the energies, the good, the bad, and also the really intense, not so pleasant energies. So similar to that emotional burnout, when you're picking up a lot on the emotional level, it's also on the energetic level as well. You're feeling so much and you're picking up so much. And if you're not quite sure what you're picking up, what is yours, what is not yours, it can become yours. You make it your own without even knowing that you're doing that. So you're feeling so much when you're around a lot of people. For example, you may have noticed that you're maybe challenged whenever you're going to places with a lot of people, like crowds, or going to the store during rush hour when there are a lot of people there. And that's because you're picking up a lot of the negative energies that are all around you. But now this is not just about people. This is then also on a collective level. You may then also actually feel when, let's say, the Schumann resonance really spikes again and you're feeling quite energetically stretched and squeezed. Or if there's some cosmic events as well, you may actually feel that as well because you're so sensitive to the energies. And you're picking that up. And as empath, we often have also the ability to filter through the negative energy and transmute it into love and light. But if we're not sure what we're picking up, it makes it very challenging, but oftentimes it stays with us. Or you may then also notice that you're being drained, your energy is being drained by other people. So here we're talking about those energy vampires as well. So you're actually taking on their energy and they're basically sucking you dry, so to speak, right? On an energetic level. So that's another major challenge that empaths are facing. That's why you may have noticed that it's very challenging to be around a lot of people, because whether you're picking up their emotional state of being or you're really feeling so much on an energetic level, which can be very overwhelming. It also drains you, which then can also cause health problems, burnout, and all those not so pleasant feelings. Then the third biggest challenge is overcommitment. We empath, we're loving souls, we're giving souls. We want to please other people, right? We want to serve in a higher way. So that often leads to overcommitment because we're challenged with saying no. We're often saying yes because we want to please, we want to help, we want to make a difference, we want to make an impact and those type of things. But that actually causes us to overcommit and stretch ourselves too thin, and we don't really take care of ourselves. So that is really a big challenge that empaths are really facing, that they're overcommitted. Energetically, emotionally, spiritually, and even physically, on all levels, empaths are often overcommitted. And here, when we're talking about energetic level as well, when you're around a lot of people, or when you're around people and they're going through a rough time and you want to just help them, then inadvertently, you're actually taking on their stuff. So that's also in a way an overcommitment, because you want to help them. You want to solve their problem. You want to take care of them. You want to make things better for them, especially if it's like a close friend or a loved one. We're overcommitting ourselves on all these different levels because we are such empathic and loving and giving souls, want to make an impact, want to help a lot of people. But the problem with that is then we're forgetting to take care of ourselves. We're not honoring our own needs. So if you're noticing that you're always feeling quite exhausted and stressed and stretched thin, maybe then you're really challenged with those 3 major challenges that I just mentioned about the energetic burnout, the emotional burnout, or then also even the overcommitment. So these are the 3 major challenges I have really seen, in myself and other empaths that can often make life, living as an empath very challenging. But the good thing is that you can do something about it. So let me share with you what you can do about if you're experiencing those emotional, energetic burnout and also the overcommitment. First of all, you want to set clear boundaries, strict boundaries on all levels as well. Physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional boundaries, right? So here, you want to pay attention whenever you're not feeling okay, when you're feeling quite stretched, you want to set the boundary like, okay, now I need time for myself. I'll get back to doing whatever I was doing in a moment, but now I need to take time for myself. If someone is emotionally really draining you, you want to also set those energetic boundaries, those emotional boundaries, like, okay, I'm going to block this. I'm not going to let that get to me, because you can set the intention that, yes, I can listen to another person, but I don't have to lean into it or open myself up to take on their stuff, right? So here you want to set those clear and strong boundaries to really protect yourself on all levels. If you're feeling quite exhausted and energetically drained, here also you want to set those boundaries, energetic boundaries that, okay, for one, let's say you're getting exhausted or you're getting drained whenever you're going to the store during busy times. Well, here a boundary could be, well, I'm not going to go to the store during those times. Maybe I go early in the morning or late in the afternoon, or maybe during the week, or maybe during times when it's not so busy, or maybe even, order your groceries online and get it delivered to you if you can, or if that is something you would like to do, especially if you need something and it would be during busy times. The same thing is maybe staying away from crowded places. Even if you're having, if you're at work and there are certain people there that are just draining you or whatnot, then here too, maybe stay away from them. Maybe make it clear to them that you don't want to just chit chat or whatnot. You want to get your work done. You want to set those clear boundaries, kind of put them in their place, but do it in a gentle, loving, caring way. You don't want to step on people's toes, but you want to set those boundaries. And also maybe shield yourself as well. You can invoke the cloak of protection anytime you are going somewhere where there are a lot of people, whether you're going to work or to the store or anything like that, or even those cosmic dates like the full moon, the new moon, eclipses, and all of those days when you may usually feel quite stretched and exhausted or whatnot. Here too, maybe put that cloak of protection around you so you don't pick up all the energies from everything around you. Even ideally on a day-to-day basis, putting that cloak of protection around you will also assist you in just kind of shielding yourself from all that stuff that is trying to get at you throughout the day. Then another tip here is learn to say no more often and really honor your needs. If you're already stretched thin, don't say yes to yet another thing. It's okay to say no, and you can say no in a gentle way that doesn't upset another person. Right? But say no more often. There is nothing wrong or nothing bad about saying no. It's about you honoring yourself. If you feel drained, if you feel overcommitted, well then let go of certain things. Stop saying yes to everything and start saying no more often. Just say, you know what? I don't think I can do this right now because I already got so much on my plate. I mean, I appreciate it. I'm sorry that I can't help you out, but unfortunately I won't be able to do that. So that is then honoring yourself. Now here also on a side note, what you can do if let's say there's something you really don't want to do, but you feel like you have to, you're obligated. Here you can do it. You can say yes with a twist to it though, okay, with an empowered twist to it. First of all, what you want to do is you want to acknowledge that I really don't want to do this. I already got so much on my plate. I really don't want to do this. However, I choose to do it because whatever that reason is. I choose to do it because, well, if I wouldn't help that person wouldn't be able to do it themselves or something like that. It's a choice, right? So you're consciously choosing to do it anyways. That's different. That's more empowering, because if someone asks you to do something, you're like, yeah, I guess I'll do it, right? And you're feeling kind of forced. You feel like you have no other choice. That is very disempowering, right? And that then also feels very draining and exhausting and overwhelming. However, if someone comes at you and asks you something, you're like, oh, I really don't want to do that. Okay, however, I'm standing in my power and I choose to do it anyways for whatever reason. You also maybe want to check in with yourself first, like, do I really want to say yes to that, or do I want to say no to that? If I say no to that, am I going to be okay with saying no to that? And if you're getting like, no, I wouldn't feel okay, then you can choose like, okay, you know what? I wouldn't feel okay with saying no, so I'm going to choose to do it. So you see there's a different energetic signature to it. One is very disempowering because you feel like you have no other choice, but you have to do it, right? It's your obligation to do that, right? But on the other side, it's like, okay, I honor that I really don't want to do that, but I choose to do it anyways for whatever reason. There's a difference to that. So that will then help you with that overcommitment. Now, of course, you then also want to check in with yourself, because if you keep feeling like you want to say no, but you still do it anyways, you keep choosing to do it, and that can then also be quite dysfunctional as well if you constantly say yes, even though you want to say no. So here you may then also want to check in with yourself about, why do you feel like you always have to say yes, even though you're choosing to say yes? Why do you feel that, right? There may be some deeper need to please, to get approval or something like that. But that's a topic for another day. But learning to say no more often will really help you with that overcommitment. And then the final tip I want to share with you is starting a daily spiritual hygiene practice, meaning ideally in the morning, you want to first cleanse your energy, clear your energy, cut any cords, because you may pick up stuff at night, because when you're asleep, you're quite open, right? Because you're also traveling the astral plane. You may even have people in your house, right? So you may pick up stuff at night. So in the morning, you want to cleanse and clear your energy, cut any cords, pull your energy back from wherever you left yourself, and then also invoke that cloak of protection around you to protect you throughout the day. And then the same thing in the evening, when you come home from work or right before you go to bed. Also, cleanse and clear your energy field of anything that you picked up throughout the day, cut any cords, return to sender anything that is not yours with love and consciousness attached, and also invoke that cloak of protection once again with the intention to protect you during nighttime. Because like I said, you're traveling the astral plane. Your consciousness is open when you're asleep, right? Because the ego is asleep, right? The personality is asleep. So you're open to attracting also not so pleasant energies, especially when you are traveling the astral plane during your dreams. You can pick up stuff. Like if you've ever woken up in the morning, you feel like, oh my God, I felt like I didn't get any sleep. I had like the weirdest dreams ever. Yeah, you traveled the astral plane and you probably picked up something that you didn't want to pick up. So that's why having like that morning and afternoon practice is so powerful to really, as an empath, to not pick up all these different energies, to stay clean and clear, and to also protect yourself. And for that, I actually have 2 light language activations I want to invite you to check out. It's a morning cleansing activation and then an evening cleansing activation. So you can get assistance through the light language to really do the morning cleansing and then also the evening cleansing and the protection. So I put both links of those videos in the description below if you would like to check it out. So here you have the 3 challenges that empaths face, and also what you can start doing to really overcome those challenges, because being an empath is actually a beautiful thing, but you want to learn how to really work with your gifts, work with what you're experiencing, so it's not always derailing you or overwhelming you. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button, maybe leave me a comment below. Definitely check out those 2 videos here, the morning and evening a cleansing activation, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make an amazingly abundant and joyful day. Namaste.